What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of the Seals Pod. I'm your host, Teddy Jenner. This week, we have got an absolute dandy for you. Probably the best bromance in the league, besides Wes and Eli. It's Casey Jackson and Connor Kearnan. Lads, how are you?
Good, Teddy. How you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, see, Kearney's excited. Casey, where's the energy here?
I'm here, baby.
I'm here, baby. All right. It's been a while since you guys have been together, since I've been with you guys in that Rochester game. It has been a crazy time for everybody. What's been going on, Kearns? How you been?
Good. Keeping busy with work and, just trying to slate by in Ontario with nothing to do absolutely at all. Can't even golf. So I'm passing time. Brutal.
It's tough out there for you guys in Ontario. We got it good out west. How is the lockdown for you? Because I know you're not a big Doug Ford fan.
Yeah. I voted for him, but no, it is tough being locked. Like I'm like a peacock, kind of gonna let me fly, and like being caged is tough. So I like to be out doing things, as we'll probably find out during this interview. But
Casey, you giving us a tour, or what's going on here?
Showing us the kitchen.
Showing us the new kitchen. What's going on?
I'm moving into a new spot, so
there we go. What have you been up to? I know we've actually seen each other a few times here in Victoria in passing, being good old Victoria boys. But what have you been up to during this crazy year and a half off?
I mean, it finally gave me some time to actually get my house done. I bought a house a couple of years ago, and when you're playing in the season, I literally got no time to do anything. So finally finished it and had people moving upstairs. I just moved downstairs a couple of days ago. So just been.
Wait, you were looking for someone to rent your upstairs? You didn't ask me? Or did we talk?
I know you wanted it.
Did we talk about this?
Well, where you're living, it's a lot nicer than where I'm.
My park is degenerating fast.
I can see that. I can see that.
Kearney, this is, like I said, a crazy time, and normally we'd be gearing up for a playoff run with the Seals and in the heart of the season. When was the last time you had your stick in your hand?
I'm pretty lucky. My neighbor's got like a big wall that I've used since growing up. So I just kind of go out there and bang the wall pretty much every break I take, or lunch breaks, whatever. So I have my stick in my hand quite a bit, or messing around with some sidewall stalls.
Are you working on
laugh as Casey knows? So I always have my stick in my hand.
Yeah. Casey, what about you? Are you been out shooting at all? Because I know we got a ton of boxes here in Victoria. The weather's been phenomenal. I'm sure you've taken advantage.
Oh yeah, like you said, we got tons of boxes open and stuff, and everybody's just itching to play. So you ask them, hey, let's go shoot. They're up for it.
Yeah. If we were to say all of a sudden it's all back on, games start in 2 weeks, are you either of you in game shape?
I mean, I'll be straight up. I am not at all. I am. I've been working out and trying to put on some size, so I'd say my cardio is not where it's at.
Are you doing squats and calf raises for those legs?
Well, I'm doing calf raises. That's the only thing that doesn't show, but yes, I am doing them.
Kearney, what about you? Are we game ready?
I would say close to. I've been working on. That's been one of my biggest things on this off season. So, in the gym 4 to 5 times a week at least, and doing conditioning every day. Not necessarily full on sprints, but I'm doing my best. I mean, my body type, as you know, is square. So, I don't move too quick, so I'm trying to keep at least a part of that going during this lockdown.
Can you beat Casey in a 40-yard dash, or
absolutely not?
Oh man, I was gonna say without a doubt.
Hey, but I can beat Brody Merrill. I'll put that on tape. If he
all right. We might have to have a competition. Sipping a little energy drink.
Yeah, Monster.
Monster.
He's
I see you're rocking the signature hat. Casey, you got the True Lax shirt on. Casey, what's it like being a sponsored athlete in the professional lacrosse? Like when growing up in Victoria, was that ever something you thought would be a thing?
No, I mean, I didn't even think you knew that as a kid to be sponsored or anything like that. So, but once you get there, and True's been awesome. I actually got it through Mikey Schlosser when he was there. He kind of hooked me up, and I talked to Lauren, the guy that runs it there, and he's been unreal. I've been there for I guess since I started with the Seals, so over 2 years ago now. So, but man, it is unbelievable. Just getting free packages and basically, somebody telling you they want you to use their stuff.
Right.
I'll do that any day of the week.
Kearns, how do we get on that program, bud?
Whoa, which program?
Just the free packages all the time.
Oh, I don't know. I've been very lucky with Signature. They've been pretty good at welcoming me on board, and kind of they're a new company, so growing it as much as possible. And I think I'm on social media quite a bit, so it kind of helps for them. So I think that's why I was a good candidate. I don't know. They're great though. They're moving up the ranks for sure in the lacrosse world.
How important has social media been for both you guys in branding yourselves?
I mean, I don't use it too much for branding myself. I mean, I kind of stay. I mean, I like to poke fun with the boys a little bit here and there, and keep in touch with them. But branding myself, I don't use it too much for that. Maybe I'm a little old school, but Kearney might be using that. He looks good on that.
Kearns, do you use it a lot? Like, are you tagging Signature in your posts? I know you like to use the hashtag not driving, but are you tagging Signature in a lot of your posts?
No, I don't do much branding. My Instagram is just kind of like my own personality. Let that shine through for sure.
Yeah.
I know Casey's definitely old school. He's pushing 33 now or 34, whatever it is. So
yeah, you wish.
He's pretty old. So,
Yeah.
But no, his Instagram, our Instagram is a little bit different. Like he's verified, not a big deal.
Wow. How'd you get that?
Yeah.
I didn't. Honestly, I didn't do anything. I mean, our social media lady Hannah texted me and she's like, "Hey, send me a picture of your passport." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Well, you can send a picture of your driver's license." So I sent it to her, and then about like half hour later, she goes, "Hey, check your Instagram." So I check my Instagram. I'm like, "What's there?" She's like, "You have a blue check mark." I was like, "What is that?" Okay, so what can I do with that? She's like, "Just have fun." I was like, "All right, if you know that, yeah, if you know what that means, all right."
Kearney, you're quite good on your social media. I saw a couple with the salty dog posts, the promos that you were doing for the Seals last year. One we can't really show. You dropped a pretty solid F-bomb, but you smashed a can off your head a few times. Was that a first take explosion?
Well, I mean, it was first take for sure. It took about 15 pops off the head, but I got it open and I did drink that beer. That's the main thing, right? So no, that was a fun day of shooting. Holy.
I remember those days, when I was in league and we do the media day and the promo day and you're shooting all those videos. It's even more fun now with the relationships guys are building and the amount of friends that we have. And just to sit in that room and watch guys just kind of get out of their element and be a little awkward and uncomfortable. It's a lot of fun those days, isn't it, Casey?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, honestly, you get with the guys and they're a whole different beast when you get them alone rather than on camera. So,
Kearney, you always, like you said, you had fun that day.
Yeah, like that day especially too. We just came off of a big training camp, 2 days in San Diego sun.
That was your only beer that day, though, right, Kearney?
Past listening, yes.
Yeah.
But no, that day was incredible. Pat gave us the afternoon off, so we kind of got the guys in camp got to walk around and kind of enjoy San Diego and do some media. And let me tell you, those beers were earned after that camp. It was a pretty tough camp. Everyone's legs were kind of hurting, so it was a lot of fun just to sit back and have some beers with your buddies and kind of mess around.
Yeah.
I miss those early day pro camps because it's just you go for 2.5 hours, you get like a 3-hour break, and then you're right back at it. Your legs are jello. You can't feel anything, but you just know you got to get through it. Then all of a sudden they blow the whistle, like, all right, beep test, or they're like, all right, we're going to go do fitness. That is probably the worst part about those training camps.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I remember when I was in Vancouver and we did, I think Batley was the coach, and we did a beep test before practice, practice, and then we did another beep test after. So, and I mean, those were hard, but then you got Patty running us through like regular practice, and the intensity level of that is like basically the same. They are brutal.
Yeah. Kearns, you ever do a beep test, bud?
Oh my.
Well, that's right.
Have you ever done a beep test?
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna believe it, but back in the day, I was a big like long distance runner. Like back in high school and elementary school, I was pretty good at long distance, and then I found a love for beer, and it kind of went downhill.
Deceiving.
Yeah,
Deceiving.
beep tests are brutal.
You're like the Phil Kessel of the NLL.
Hey, he just scored his 900th career goal. So
That's what I'm saying. Extremely skilled. No one would have any idea. But hey,
I enjoy a hot dog every now and again.
that's yeah, for sure.
How many, as they call them, meat whistles are you putting back on the golf course, Kearns?
Is Patty listening?
Yeah.
It's the off season, man. We're good.
I don't know, enough to party.
Casey, are you golfing much these days? Because I know, like I am. That's all I know how to do right now.
Yeah, I've been trying to get out a little bit more because I didn't play for about a year there. And then I finally got back out on the course, and it was brutal. Oh my God. And then you get in your head, but then you always have that like one last shot at the end of the round that's so good and it brings you back.
Yeah. So
recently I've been trying to get out a little bit more. I've played Cedar a couple times. I think I'm playing Mount Doug tomorrow, and then that's a little course, but
yeah, we'll have to get out. We'll have to get out real quick. We'll bring the cameras and the mics, and we'll have a day on the course.
Absolutely.
All right. How did this bromance start? Because you two have become real bosom buddies since really, the start of the Seals' very first season. Who saw who first?
Well,
love it first sight.
It didn't start out with the two of us being roommates. It started out I was with someone else, and then we kind of got split up. I'm not gonna name any names, and then Casey and I were put together, and it was kind of like, our story started there, and it's been growing and being magical since. And
but they tried to separate us in year 2.
Yeah.
They gave us new roomies, and we had to go to them and tell them no.
I had Fieldsy, and the next thing I was giving blood for him, so I asked for Casey back.
What did you say? You were giving him blood?
It was a long story. I got like.
We got a long time, Kearns. We're not going anywhere.
Someone took blood from the U.S. Lacrosse team. They thought I was Connor Field or Connor Kelly, one of the two, and I ended up giving blood for like a drug test, and like I wasn't supposed to, and it was supposed to be for Fieldsy, and he wasn't there. So yeah, after that, it was game day too, like 6 a.m. It was brutal.
Yeah, they came knocking on game day on all the hotels.
Yeah.
What? Early in the morning, yeah, do drug tests on everyone.
Yeah.
They were yelling at Nobes through the door, I think, too.
Oh yeah.
You don't answer, your career's over.
It wasn't NLL either. It was the FIL or whatever.
It was out. I thought it was outdoor.
Yeah, FIL. Like,
yeah. So it was leading up to the World Games probably, and so they were just doing like off-season testing, and they just came knocking on doors.
Yeah, we had Connor. Well, Connor Kelly was on the team the year before.
Yeah.
We had Connor Fields. I'm rooming with Connor Fields at the time, so there's 2 Connors in the room. Like I got the call in the morning. Hey, Connor. Yeah. You get drug tested. I'm like, oh, all right. And like me being naive, like
I'm not even playing.
Whatever. I'll take the drug test. Like I don't want any trouble. So took it, and they took blood as well. They did the whole shebang, and then I went down to breakfast, and they're like, "Why did you give them blood?" It's not. So it was a funny story. It ended up being funny.
Like I remember guys would play rookie pranks on guys, and they'd pretend like they were a media source from their hometown, and they were in the lobby and they wanted to do an interview for them. I've never heard the blood donor thing. That's a sneaky one, but it was a legit error on your part. It wasn't just a joke.
Oh no, it was legit. Like, it was legit testing, and I was naive, whatever, and fell for it. So after that, I was like, Connor Fields, I'm not taking another bullet for you. I'm back in Casey.
Right. You guys do mega beds, or you guys king size beds in the room? What do you guys do?
Queen beds sleep together.
Yeah, so that's the mega bed.
Yeah.
Oh, is that no? We don't put them together.
Oh, you just do queen side by side.
Like one bed's empty.
You guys just sleep in the same bed.
Yeah. we leave that for a night out. Maybe one of the guys,
When you come stumbling in late after a night after a game, you're just like the first bed, you're in it.
That's right.
Oh, Connor's here or whatever. I'll just pass it off.
Always closest to the balcony, right?
Yes, right.
Wait, who gets that? Who gets to call whose bed's who?
We share the one close to the balcony.
Yeah, we mix it around. It be spontaneous. But no.
Well, if we lost the weekend before, we'll be by the bathroom.
You'll change it, yeah.
But if we win, we'll stay. Yeah.
Are you seatmates on planes and everything? Like, are you guys full on always together?
We don't travel too much together, but usually on the bus, we're at the back of the bus, usually joking around. So
playing Clash of Clans.
Yeah, playing Clash of Clans. Yeah.
I was gonna ask what the game on the bus is these days. I didn't think the answer would be Clash of Clans.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep up with these young guys. That's really what I'm trying to do.
What do you play? What, like, are there card games going on the bus, or is it just?
It's usually just stories. Like we'll play a little bit, and then we just like kind of just joke around, like tell stories and stuff like that. There's not really any card games going on too much, but
what's the best bus story you heard this year or last year?
Oh man, that's a good one.
I mean,
they're usually on nights out after games, so
Something
about that. I mean, we did all get, well, a bunch of us did get matching tattoos.
What? Let's see them.
Well, there you know. Pants got to come down, but yeah, we got matching tat. Like, well, how many of us got that?
Me, Turbo, you,
Grades.
The Dogger. I think there was 5 or 6 of us.
Dogger was at the
or where was this?
Place. San Diego.
Oh, just on a whim, you lose a bet, or was it a night after? Night after?
It actually started after training camp. Me and Turbo were walking by, and we were going to be drinking that night with the team. And then I was like, "Hey, we're gonna get a tattoo tonight," and he's like, "All right, sold." And then we kind of got a few courage pops, and next thing you know, boom, we're getting tattoos, and it's just a palm tree, their number, but it's just for San Diego. Simple, something, nothing too crazy, but
yeah.
And then we didn't get them together though, because I think the next weekend they're like, "Yeah, that's sick, let's do it." And then like
we all because like I think Turbo had his wife in town, and it was just a group of us, and then we went out and we were walking past there, and then me and Graydon were just like, you know what, we're gonna get one too. We're gonna get one. So we got same ones as them, but with it's just a palm tree, and then below it it's got our number. And then I think Turbo got, he was with his wife, so he got matching little hearts on their heart, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Loser. Yeah. But still, no, that was kind of on a whim.
That's how did Mom feel about it, Case?
I don't think she knows.
I don't think she knows.
She knows now.
Breaking news here on the Seals Pod, Mama Jackson.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that you were doing a reno case. How'd that go? Like, was it arduous? Was it a long task? Was it something you've been looking forward to? Because that kitchen looked really nice.
Yeah, like it took me forever to do, because I'm pretty I don't want to say like frugal, but like I look around and make sure like I got buddies and I pay cash. So, you could just go to Home Depot and like buy, whatever it is, but I like to buy, pay buddies cash, or, make sure it's on sale or something. So it took me a little while, but it was a lot, man. Like I ripped the whole house apart, like the basement, I ripped up the concrete and added a bathroom and put a 2-bedroom suite down here. And it hasn't been touched since it was built in the mid 70s. So it was the first time it's kind of been renovated. So one lady lived in it the whole time. So, and it actually it's 2 houses down from the house I grew up in. So my sister bought that off my mom. So I was in a condo that I was in, and she's like, "Hey, it's up for sale. Just go look." And I just had my condo for like just over a year. And she's like, "Oh, just go look. It, not a big deal." And then so I looked at it on Friday, and then by Sunday I had it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this could be a problem."
Wow.
Turned out great.
Mean anything to a lot of people listening to it, but what area are you in?
Saanich.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Teddy, you'll know, but like, I don't know if you know Northridge Elementary, but you do know Saanich area and like Wilkinson Jail.
Of course.
I'm right near there. Yeah. I back onto Colquitt's Creek. So I got no neighbors to one side of me, and the creek's there. And then I got the park on the other side.
Kearney, we don't need to talk about the jail, but what area are you living in, bud? Are you in Cordis still?
Yeah, Curtis, but yeah,
It's pronounced Curtis. I didn't know that.
yeah, no, everyone's done it. Even when I went to school, they're always called it Curtis when they're announcing lineups. But it's I'm about like 15 minutes east of Whitby, like big lacrosse town, and then 40 minutes west of Peterborough. So pretty big hotbed for lacrosse. Yes.
How did you get into lacrosse? Obviously, we had the Greers on last episode talking about Whitby, and we continue to talk about hotbeds of lacrosse, and we're going to talk about Victoria's one as well with Casey and myself. We'll just tell some stories. But you're in between two massive hotbeds of Whitby and Peterborough. How did you get into the game?
My dad played growing up, so I kind of found it. I think I was 5 or 6 when I first found a stick in the garage and started messing around with it. So they signed me up, and then that was actually the first year their team, our hometown was called Clarington, like the minor team. So the first year they ever had a rep team, and they were watching like house league games, and they asked me to play rep, and my parents said sure, and then the rest is kind of history. I kind of fell in love with it right away since I was grade 1, so yeah, 6 years old, and then just started there.
Clarendon Green Gales.
Yeah, so yeah, Clarendon Gales minor, then like the junior B team that everyone knows is Green Gales.
They're legendary, aren't they?
Yeah, they're massive around us. I know there used to be the Oshawa Green Gales, and then growing up, it was Clarendon Green Gales Junior B, which was like everyone like you kind of like grew up like wholly like,
watching, yeah,
like the hometown junior hockey team. It was pretty cool and exciting to do.
You wear a shamrock on your chest with the Clarendon Gales. Casey wore a shamrock on his chest with the Shamrocks. Does that kind of bring you guys together? Do you talk about the luck of the Irish at all?
We do not actually, but Teddy, you did it as well.
Yeah, I was there for a bit. You were
there for a while.
Were you a Sandwich Tiger growing up, Case?
I was.
So I was as well. The greatest minor system in all of Western Canada. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Who are some of the guys that you grew up playing with?
I don't know if you guys remember, but like Carson Leung.
Yeah.
Played for Calgary. Honestly, I thought was one of the best players in the league at the time. I mean, transition-wise, he was up for Transition Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sad what happened to him, but Cody Bremner.
Yeah.
Who else really? I mean, Jesse King was there once in a while because he was younger than I was. So, and Marshall, I guess. But I never played with him until, senior lacrosse. So growing up, I think just Cars.
Yeah. I don't want to divulge too far off, and I know we don't want to go too far into this, but Dallas Ellick actually posted the Carson Leung hit on social media in like the last couple of days, just questioning whether goalies should be able to make that kind of hit. Yeah. I think we can all agree that it was an egregious, disgusting, brutal hit that shouldn't be part of our game, and it cost Carson his career and really his livelihood. How's he doing? Have you spoken to him recently?
I haven't spoken to him recently. I reached out a couple times, but I talked to his dad. I ran into his dad a couple times, and we've sat and talked for a long time. And I think Carson's doing better. I know he's had about 24 surgeries on his throat.
Jesus.
So he had, I guess, his trachea. Something happened with it where it was building up scar tissue and it was closing.
Yeah.
And then he went in one day with the doctor, and they just said, either you can have emergency surgery right now, or you can go home and possibly die tonight. So he called his dad, and they had surgery. And ever since then, he just kept having them. But there's no way to scrape away the scar tissue building. There's no way to stop it. So the only way to stop it is to put a trach in there.
Right.
And so he has one of those, which is unfortunate. But I think he's doing pretty good. I mean, I haven't seen him. I've reached out a couple of times, but I think he's pretty isolated.
Absolutely. It's such a heartbreaking story because, like you said, he was turning into one of the game's elite. He was up for Transition Player of the Year. He was fantastic with the Victoria Shamrocks that last couple of summers that he was playing. Yeah. And just an incredibly sad story and one that I think everybody can agree didn't need to happen.
No, such a good human too. Like such a great human. And athletically, he was so gifted. That guy, he would play offense, defense, and then he would never even get tired. His athletic ability and his conditioning was insane.
Off the charts, man. He was such a real pleasure to watch. Kearns, when after you played Clarington, you go Junior A with the Whitby Warriors, and What an incredible organization. What was it like? You know, you said you grew up watching the Gales and that Junior B program, but the Whitby Junior A program is historic in its own right. What was it like playing for them?
I mean, it was incredible. I played actually under Coach K too, or Coach Derek Kearnan. He was very, very, very knowledgeable and very smart coach, and I learned a lot from him and really helped with my play game because, like, you know, I grew up again naive, like, Gales was my goal, like playing Junior B Gales, and I thought they were the best. And then I got to play there my first year, which I always thought was surreal, and then wasn't even thinking about Junior A. And then the next year I got a call like, hey, can you come to a meeting? Showed up and they're like, oh, hey, like, we're gonna sign you. And I didn't even cross my mind that I'd be playing at the Whitby Warrior, like,
wow,
just naive. And then joining the team that they had, which was they just came off of Minto. They had Riley O'Connor, Ryan Keenan, Shanks, Coach K, like I just mentioned. It was huge for my growth as well as just knowledge of the game. So that place, I love that organization, and then was lucky enough to play there for 4 years, my last 4 years. And it's pretty incredible to say how many people have been there through Whitby.
Yeah, I can say all three of us that it stings not winning a Minto when you have such quality teams, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, there's some things I would never ever mention that I would do if you have a Minto. So
yeah,
that's one that I wish that's one that got away.
Case, how close were you to getting to a Minto, like even to the Minto tournament?
Well, I've been to the finals twice.
Right. Yeah.
We lost. Okay. I went there as an underager. I came up with the Junior Shamrocks.
Yeah.
We had Conway, Cale Ratcliffe. I mean, we were stacked. But then we played Orangeville, and it was Nick Rose on a small net before the nets got changed. So I mean, yeah, scores were pretty low. They had Noble. The Nobles, I think they had Suter, Adam Jones. Yeah. They had everybody, but it was a goon fest. Like I think they had Suter in England, and we had Sean Nugent, who led the Junior A Hockey League in fights, and he was a big boy. And then Dylan Bernard, you know Dylan Bernard, how much of a nut show he is. And so with like game one, Suter comes over to the bench and he says, you know, if anyone has a problem, you come deal with me. And I don't think he knew that we had some tough guys too. So first things first, like Nugent goes out there and is like, okay, well, let's go. And then Dylan Bernard jumps out there too. And then, so Dylan Bernard fought England and Suter fought Sean Nugent, and then they go to the box. And then right when they come out, they switch partners.
No
go
way.
At it again. Yeah. Go at it again. Game one. And then so that kind of kicked off, the Minto for us, but it was a one game at that time. So it was one game take all. And it was crazy.
Where was that, out in Orangeville, or where was that?
It was in Calgary.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was a while ago, because that would have been, I don't even know what year that would have been.
It would have been like 20. Oh, you were a call up.
Yeah, it was a call up. But I won again as my last year in junior. I went to Coquitlam.
Right.
Yeah, we lost there too.
How close did you get, Kearns?
My first year, we were going for the repeat, and we lost Naish in the finals when they kind of had that super team that went on to win 3 of the next 4.
Right.
And then I think I was, after that first year, after losing Ontario finals, I think I was second round. 2 more times we lost out to Naish, and another time we lost out to Brampton, I think. So just that first year is my closest.
Yeah. Well, let's put the negative, the bad stuff all behind us. Draft night, Connor, 11th overall. Audie Stotts goes first. It's the Seals' first year. Did you kind of have a feeling where you would go? Were you talking to a lot of teams on draft night? How were your thoughts that night?
I had an idea. They come out, like, Stamper comes out with the mock draft or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of had an idea, again, super naive, and it sounds corny, but didn't even think it'd be like a first round. NLL was always like, I figured I would probably be drafted, but never ever thought first round.
Right.
And then got a call from Patty, got a call from a couple other teams basically saying, hey, we're interested. And then Stamper came out with his mock draft, and I happened to be like right where San Diego was, and it was an expansion team. Like, oh wow, that could be a good fit. And then that first night happened, and the draft night happened, and it came around to my name, and was happy to hear my name called from Patty in San Diego. And it was funny though too, because I had the idea of right where I was going around, and Fieldsy was right before me.
Right.
And so you heard Connor, and then it was like, oh, it might be me because it's San Diego, and that's kind of where I was slotted to go. And then it was Connor Fields, and then they went back to back with myself. So it was pretty funny and pretty surreal. And then I knew Fieldsy from Albany, and because he's from Buffalo too, and then obviously Audie. So it was pretty cool getting some pictures of them after and talking about it.
When you were with Whitby, were you playing against the Arrows teams that Patty was coaching?
I think Patty only coached my last year. I could be wrong though. He might have been an assistant or something before, but I think his first year of head coach was my last year when they were like the super team, and they were good. So
you kind of knew of his coaching style. What do you think of his coaching style now that you're playing for him?
I mean, you can't argue his coaching style. It's definitely intense. He's straight to the point, but he gets results, and he likes to have fun when it's time to have fun, but business is business. So, I mean, nothing but respect for the man, and he's been a great coach so far.
When Casey was coming out of college, we're going to get to it, but he was a Division III All-American. Where do you think he was drafted, Connor? What position do you think he went?
I think I have the idea because I couldn't believe it when he told me, but I think he was like 4th round or 5th round, something like that, like something crazy. I think like 40th pick or 36, something like that.
Let's go to the man himself, Casey. When were you drafted?
I wasn't drafted.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I just made that up on the spot.
But, like, if you're a D3 All-American that leads RIT in scoring, it comes from a Canadian hotbed, has been to Mintos, and has an incredible career in junior, I just do not see how you don't get drafted. Were you talking to teams, or was it just not something that was in the cards, Case?
I was talking to teams. I was talking to a few teams, and then I knew where a couple were sitting, and I was told, I'm losing you guys here. And then I was told Colorado at 5, I think, or something, or 6. They were really interested. And then I played in Rochester at school the year before, and they were sitting at like 8 or something like that. And then somebody said, if you fall past whoever at 8, Rochester wants you, because my old college coach called me and told me that.
Is that little Willie?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he called me and said that if I slipped a 9 or 8 or whatever it is, that Rochester wants to take me. So I was kind of sitting there and I was wondering, and then draft night goes by and nothing happened. And then it was really weird. I was sitting there, I was like, what's going on? And then I heard that I still had a year left of eligibility in college. So I don't think teams knew that I was in the draft. I mean, either way, I think Kurt Milosky told me that because he called me, and then I signed there for a tryout, and then just kind of.
When you don't get drafted, and obviously whether if it's a clerical error or whatever, there's obviously got to be a bit of a chip on your shoulder. When you get to your first NLL camp, how was that for you?
I mean, it was intense. I was in shape. I was ready to go. I thought I had a great camp and everything like that, and but I think Calgary was pretty stacked on the left side there, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't work out, I guess. And I mean, it kind of was almost the best thing that's happened to me, because then I took 2 years off of lacrosse, because then I was in senior, and then I was in Burnaby, and they were flying me out on Tuesday nights to go play home games, and I was working, and I was like, I can't keep doing this. So I literally stopped playing for 2 years. And then that's when Victoria called me, and they're like, hey, we want to trade for you. Would you play again? And kind of kicked off again from there.
Yeah. You had some concussion issues recently that kept you out, and I'm a soft melon head myself that had numerous. When you go through those spells of one hit leading to the next, that leads to the next, and every time you get bumped, you can feel that sensation.
Yeah.
How scary is it for you?
I mean, before I could bang my head off a wall and nothing would even happen. And it was a little scary, because the first one, it lasted and lingered for a little while.
Yeah. And
then I know the Man Cup was coming up, and I was telling them I was having headaches still, like everything else was fine, but I was like, I'm having headaches every day. And they're like, oh, that's fine. No problem. So then they put me in the Man Cup, and I think like game 4 or something like that, my stick broke when I went to hit somebody, and my head went in, and happened again. And that one was where it really kind of kicked off. I don't think I was fully healed. And then that one lasted a long time. And then it was hard mentally to come back and play in that first game. I know I wanted to come back, and like I was flying out to San Diego, and they got me an MRI and just made sure like mentally. And I remember I sat down with Steve. Steve wanted to talk to me, and he made everything clear, and he was just so great. I mean, everybody was, but I remember that one conversation with Steve where he was just like, he kind of laid it out for me. He was just like, hey, even if you're physically ready, you need to be mentally ready too. And I just remember that one, and it really helped. And so I think I sat out another week just to be safe. And then I came back, and, I took a couple hits. I took one big one for sure. And I knew after I took that first one, I was like, you know what, I'm back to normal. Yeah. I'm fine. So
it's a crazy feeling taking that time off and trying to get mentally prepared to take that hit. It's a really weird feeling.
You don't know if you're going to play again.
Yeah.
And I do remember after that first game, I remember I texted my best friend, and I was just like, man, I don't think I can play anymore. And he was like, seriously? Like texting me. I was like, I'm a little nervous out there. Like, I just don't know if I'll be able to get to the net like I can. Like, I just don't think I can. And he's like, just play another game. Like, you can do it. Like, get through it. And then I think I played two more, and I was back to normal. If not, I wanted it even more. So
your nerves, Connor, for your first game are probably a little different, but that first game, the Seals' very first game in Colorado, there's so many ties with Govett leaving and coming back and everything that happened. How cool and special was that first game for not only yourself, but for that whole organization? I remember Cam Holding telling me after the game, he went in the locker room, and there's Josiah with the family and the kids giving everybody hugs. How awesome was that first night?
It was incredible. Great effort all the way around. And we knew going in, first game is a new franchise. We had Cam, Steve. There might have been another. I can't. There's someone else, I think. But
Josh Gross would have been one of them.
Yeah, Grossi as well.
There, yeah.
But basically knew it was going to be something special, and we came out flying. Especially that second quarter, we kind of lit the lamp a little bit, and then everyone just super excited to get that first win for everybody involved, players, organization, Josiah. And then it was pretty cool coming in and seeing Josiah, like you said, with his family, his wife, his kids, just kind of just ear to ear grinning, like, oh, it was cool. And then Audie absolutely lit it up too. And you gotta love.
That was a phenomenal performance by Audie. Like,
he's so excited to score.
What a way to make
game
him on the big stage, eh?
Yeah. And we'd all been waiting for it too. I grew up playing junior against him, so he was incredible. And you knew how much he loved the score. And then the performance like that in your first game was pretty impressive. So
it's kind of like an Austin Matthews first game.
What's that?
It's almost like an Austin Matthews first game.
Yeah, I think he went 4-5 or something like that, and just everything he shot went in. He was making just ridiculous plays. And I was calling the game for Colorado, and I was just in awe because it's the first time I'd ever watched him in person. And it was just phenomenal. Like, Connor, you said you grew up playing against him. Has he always just been that overly dominant?
He's 2 years younger though, so he was. I know he was good. My brother played against him. My brother was younger than me. My brother played against him. I always knew he was pretty good. I think Tahoka and him were like the two main names for Six Nations minor. But then my first year of Gales, which was my first year junior, he was playing 2 years up with Six Nations, they actually beat us in the finals of Ontario as well. And he was lights out. Like, couldn't believe how good he was for I think he was 14. and then we went to junior A. He felt like him and I went the same path, except he was 2 years younger.
Yeah.
And he lit it up again. Like, just one of the most purest goal scorers I've ever seen, to be honest. And then when they get and hang out with him too, he's an absolute beauty.
Yeah. We'll go back to that first night. Like I said, it was your first game. Do you remember your first ever goal?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was actually a slip on Noble, who him and I are pretty close. My first was from Dan Dawson to Dangerous Dan, which it was pretty surreal.
Right.
Yeah, usually not too much of a big cellier at all, but when I threw one of the meanest fist pumps I've ever had.
Oh yeah,
Pauly D on the dance floor, baby. Like, it was incredible.
Casey, you have some good celebrations yourself, but what's bigger, your low to high fist pump or your wind up for a shot?
Oh, that's tough. That is tough.
That is a large wind up, my friend.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes if I have the time, I'll definitely use all of it.
Is that just something that's always been your thing, or is it just something you've developed, through field and as you've gotten older?
I mean, I've always liked the underhand shot. I've just been more accurate that way, I find. And I mean, I've had coaches growing up all the time being like, overhand, like this or that. And it was the same actually with the Shamrocks. Bob Hayes said the same thing when I came back, like, shoot overhand. And I think after the first game, he was just like, whatever. And then he'd have his little pregame. He's like, we need to, overhand down to the hips. And then they're just like, well, Case, just, shoot your underhand or whatever. Right? I'm just more accurate that way.
Yeah.
So, and I know Govett gave me a hard time actually when I got there too. And he doesn't anymore, which is good. But
I just go ahead.
Accurate.
Yeah. You started your career with Vancouver. You ended up not getting protected. Did that surprise you?
A little bit. Lots of people told me that I was going to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was a little, I knew anything was going to happen, but I figured that they were going to. And then, I was a little surprised when they didn't. I was a little disappointed, to be honest with you.
Because you're playing for your quote unquote hometown team and you really like that group.
Yeah, I really like a lot of the guys there, and one of my best friends is on that team too, Tyson Rowe. So we just like traveling together and flying together, and it was just good, like you play for your hometown team. So I thought I was going to get protected. I didn't, but I only played a couple games there, and so I knew anything was going to happen. But once I didn't, and I mean,
when Patty calls you and you find out you're a SEAL, how excited are you for that opportunity?
I mean, I talked to Patty a bit leading up into it, and he told me he was pretty surprised that I was unprotected as well. So when he said he was interested, that's all I could think about is going there. And then I knew he flew out to a game and to come watch me and stuff. And I was sitting beside Hellier, and I had a pretty good game. I think I had 4 by that time. And Hellier just turns over to me and he goes, "Well, I hope you don't like Vancouver too much." And so I was like, all right, I guess I'm going there. And then so I finally went to San Diego, and I mean, yeah, Patty gave me an opportunity. So I was just trying to take advantage of that.
Let's go back to our college days. We all kind of went to school in the same area along the I-90 of upstate New York and Pennsylvania, the Snowbelt country. Connor, you're a Canisius guy. We talked about you going to RIT. I'm a Mercyhurst guy. Upstate New York lacrosse is a different breed. How cool is it to experience for you guys in Buffalo and in Rochester? Connor, you go first.
I mean, I transferred into Buffalo after my first year. I went to St. Joe's in Philadelphia, and just kind of transferred for personal reasons. And Buffalo is the best city in the world besides San Diego.
Really?
San Diego. Oh yeah, I absolutely loved it. It's cold, but you get pretty warm easy in Buffalo. You got Bill's Mafia. You've got and lacrosse there too. Like all the kids that come up there, all the New York kids that are recruits or on the team now, like they can all play. Like just south of Canada, right? So they know how to play the game, and it's a hotbed for the U.S. side of things. So all around, I wouldn't trade a thing for it.
I had a buddy who went to Canisius, and do they have like underground tunnels because it's so cold to get you like from building to building?
We do at Canisius. Yeah, we did. We had it's not through obviously every building, but for the majority of campus, like the main buildings and residents, all the freshman residents, there's tunnels, which is pretty cool. I didn't really use them because like it's a lot more walking around to do, and then I mean, from Canada, you just kind of cruise through, like not really a big deal, but
you're a big bear, eh?
Not scared.
Yeah, you're not scared.
No,
what's Mernsey like as a coach?
Absolute weapon. I text Mernsey. We text still quite a bit, not quite a bit, sorry, but like now and again, and keep tabs on each other. He's incredible, great coach, very personal person. I'm sure you're aware of. On my recruiting visit with my mom and my brother, he kind of sold me on Canisius. All around great guy. That's all I have to say.
You're holding back on me, I sense.
What's that, sorry?
You're holding back on me, I feel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Mernsey, he's just Mernsey. There's no better way to put it. Just very genuine, very nice, likes to get after it, and he mixes business with pleasure very well. So and
that kind of sounds like Sean Wilkins, Case?
Totally. Oh yeah, he's a player's coach for sure.
What was RIT like? Because they were a D3 powerhouse for such a long time, and there's so many national lacrosse leaguers that have gone to RIT and are proud to be called Tigers. What was that experience like for you? Because you went to ASA first and then transferred, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I was actually going to go to Denver with Bergie. Oh. He was really pushing me to go there, and I went through eligibility issues, so I didn't get it. And then that's when Kuhn called me like a week or a month before school was going to start, and he's like, "We can get everything done, and get you over here." So I went there, and it was a blast. I mean, it was tons of fun. I mean, Rochester's not like the nicest city in the world, but it's fun to have a good time in. I mean, you've probably heard the saying Roch Vegas.
Yeah, so. Well, I played my first 2 years in Rochester, so I know all about it.
So there's some places. Yeah, there's some places that have a good time. I mean, the campus is fun. But yeah, we had a lot of good players. Like we played a Canadian style, so we had. Our whole offense was basically Canadian. I mean, Ryan Lee was there at the time, so he was right hand, I was left. We played. We both attacked together, and it was tons of fun. It suited my style because it was. Willie was there, and he's a Canadian too, so he's a Canadian style guy, and. I mean, we didn't worry about, holding the ball and running around. It was basically punch it in the net and let's go.
How many garbage plates have you put in your belly over the years?
I mean, I need more hands.
What's your favorite version?
Oh my God, I can't even remember now. I mean, I think it was, really all I had was the ground beef.
Yeah.
Ron, is that right?
Yeah, well, you can either get ground beef, you can get patties with cheese on them. It's basically home fries, baked beans, burger, onions, and just all the gravy and squat poured on top of it. Just the grimiest meal. Kearns, when we go to Roch, have you had one? I'm sure you have, being a Buffalo guy.
Absolutely.
Oh, are you kidding me?
All my Rochester buddies are like, we had a lot of Rochester people. It's Canisius, so I know garbage plates and. Basically dog food, but my God,
it's a Rochester meal for sure.
Yeah, when I played there, the super fans you'd meet him in the bar after, you'd have drinks, and they knew we were going out after, and they'd take our garbage plate order. So when we got back from the bars at like 3 a.m., we'd have garbage plates sitting outside our hotel room door.
Wow, those are some fans.
Legendary.
Those are friends.
Phenomenal.
Those are friends.
Those are friends. We can't end this. Well, we're going to end it pretty quick, but we can't end it without talking about the night you almost played goal, Connor. You put the pads on, you rocked back up. You were maybe going to go in. I don't think there was really ever a chance Patty was going to put you in, but would you have been ready?
Oh,
would you have stacked the pads? What were you doing?
No, I would have played Orthodox. It would have been just another day at the office. I was looking up at Patty. Like you see in Miracle in movies, looking at the coach, like put me in, like I was ready to go. And I think he completely zoned me out and ignored me.
Yeah, but you look good in warm up though, Kearney.
Oh,
you know that saying though, like when you I don't know, like if you play duffer hockey, the hardest guys to get by are the guys that don't know how to play because you can't predict what they're gonna do.
No.
That was you and Nana. You just didn't know. No. Sometimes you wouldn't even move. You're like, okay, that's great.
I knew exactly what I was doing, right?
Maybe you did.
Hockey goalie. An all-time, all-world mini stick goalie.
No.
You saw me in beach lax, all-world beach lax.
You were an all-world beach lax goalie.
Exactly, all-world. So, no, I was looking up. I was hoping we were going to put a few more in past New York, and then I was gonna get the call in, just for
Wow.
some views, And
It like when you found out that you were only going to have one goalie, did you just put your hand up and say I'll go in? Did you lose a draw? Like what the heck? How did that become you?
So it was actually incredible. I walked out after first warmies, and I'm getting ready to walk back with like a couple of the other guys back to our hotel room because it was just across the parking lot. And Shoots comes out and grabs me and he goes, Kearney, gotta talk to you real quick. He sounded like real down. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting traded. Like, I'm getting traded here. And he pulls me into the room and Patty's just sitting there and he looks pretty down. I go, I'm getting traded for sure. He goes, Kearney, need you to do something. I'm like, yeah, what is it? He goes, we need you to be goalie tonight, backup goalie tonight. I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, you got backup goalie. Like, Cooter's paperwork didn't go through on time, so we don't have a goalie. And then I had played hockey goalie, and I know they scouted me at Beach Lax for sure. Patty were pretty impressed with how good I was, so I think that kind of solidified me.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, the rest was kind of history. And then even in warm up, I'm getting ready, and Patty like wanted to be like, because guys stick around after the starter goalie leaves.
Yeah.
After the once, and like everyone shoots, the backup goalie goes in and takes all the shots for the guys to warm up.
Yeah.
Well, Patty's like, no, like once Nikki's done, like get off the floor. I was like, no, Patty, I don't mind. Like I'll stay in net and let them shoot on me. It's not a big deal. He goes, really? They kind of shocked. Like then, like you trying to avoid it? Like, yeah, I'm goalie. I'm gonna live this out. So I stayed up with some warmies, and I don't think Casey scored on me, but.
I mean, it had nothing to do with you being actually shaped like the net, though, right?
I do have a perfect build for it. Also,
yeah.
They called me the cat as well. It's kind of like Felix Potvin, the cat.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but no, it was a lot of happened, man. I really wish it would have happened. Vegas. Did either of you have any fun besides the game while you were in Vegas?
Kearney couldn't wait to leave. Kearney couldn't wait to leave.
I remember one thing I do remember from Vegas is that I walked in on after the night of our game and walked in on Casey. He was still asleep, and it was like I think 8:30 in the morning or 9 or something. We had to start getting ready to our hotels, go to our own, to our personal hotel rooms. And I walked in, jumped on him with a case of White Claws. Hadn't been to bed yet. Hey, we're gonna drink.
It was on.
Dude, what time is this? It's 8:30. He goes, why are you up? Like, I haven't been to bed yet.
Yeah, go away.
Yeah, he kind of shooed me away. And then I had like 4 other guys come into the room that were with me throughout the night, and they all came in, and Casey finally kind of caved into bed and had, I think, get a beer to kind of shut us up. But we actually got a really nice picture that weekend.
Yep, that's right.
Your girlfriend took it, B. So that was cool.
You guys like talk during the week? Like, are you guys missing each other?
We talked quite a bit off the off season during like contract stuff too.
Yeah.
And then we talked last week, so Clash of planning it up.
We kind of it comes hit and miss. Like when we reach out to each other, it ends up being like a talk for like 3 days straight. Like it's like text after text, and then we kind of go on a little vacancy there. But we keep tabs on each other. We check each other on Instagram.
For sure. Oh yeah.
I see all his thirst traps.
Hey, I got that blue check mark, and I said had fun.
Yeah.
I know you're fishing with dynamite.
Boys, this has been awesome. Hopefully December comes around, we can all get back together. I know we're all itching to get to Pechanga and play some lacrosse and see each other. I really appreciate your time. This has been an awesome chat. Appreciate you guys. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.